Thank you, Madam Chair. Ms. Williams, thank you again for your testimony this morning and for your years of public service and dedication to natural resource conversation. Certainly enjoyed our conversation yesterday and appreciated reviewing your written testimony, where you cover two central tenets for your work: ensuring the Fish and Wildlife Service adheres to scientific integrity, as well as to work collaboratively with partners and stakeholders. These tenets will be especially important to your work, as we discussed yesterday, when it comes to California water issues and ecosystem preservation. California water is always a challenging topic, and I know that many of my colleagues on this committee, even those that are not from California, are familiar with how contentious water issues in California can be. We have to carefully balance the needs of many interests, including imperiled wildlife and fragile ecosystems, as we plan to address present-day challenges, let alone prepare for the future. So striking the right balance will require the personal involvement of the director to coordinate with other interior agencies, with the NOAA, with the state of California, with tribal governments, and many other very active and, might I say, opinionated stakeholders whose lives and livelihoods depend on water and a healthy environment. Ms. Williams, during our meeting yesterday, I was pleased to hear your commitment to visiting California and to personally engaging on these critical water issues if confirmed. So can you describe for me and the committee, if confirmed, what your approach would be to working with the many stakeholders in California, not just on water, but on a number of issues?
Thank you, Senator Padilla, and I too enjoyed the opportunity to visit with you yesterday. I very much appreciate that. And California water is an incredibly important issue. And yes, I do think that it's would be helpful for me to go to California, to your state, and to be very closely engaged in the issues, that it's too important not to delegate completely. I have faith in our public servants and working with them on these issues. And to date, I have very closely worked with the Bureau of Reclamation, with our sister agencies, with NOAA, NIMFS, with the state of California, with tribes. So I would agree with you that there are many partners, many voices, sometimes strong, understandably so. And I think that California water is one of the most challenging issues we do face. As you are, I'm sure, painfully aware, this was a very difficult year in face of the drought. So there is much work to do. We'll never be able to let up on the gas on that work, and it's very important. So I look forward to engaging more. I look forward to visiting, and I look forward to hearing from people in person on their perspectives on these matters.
Right. And a comment, not necessarily a question, unless you want to offer some thoughts, but prior work experience and relationships is obviously helpful. A commitment to demonstrate willingness to collaborate and partner is necessary. But at the very foundation of it is building credibility and building trust, especially on contentious issues, and at a time that we're living where there's even too often a fundamental debate as to what is truth and the value of data and the significance of scientific contributions, those sorts of things. So again, my comment, feel free to respond if you'd like.
Yes, please, Senator Padilla, that's right, that the scientific integrity with which we work, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, is critical to building that credibility. And if confirmed, I know that we will, as I said, place a continued import on scientific integrity. And yes, in my experience in working as a director of Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks, as vice president of the Western Association of Fish and Wildlife Agencies, working closely with the director of California, Oregon, other states. I look forward to continuing to build those partnerships. And I think the tribes are also very important in the water issue, as are irrigators, as are many. So I agree, building those relationships are important. And I very much appreciate the question yesterday, and I think the challenge before all of us is how do we build credibility for government, and specifically for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service? And I think it's such a good question, and I think the world is changing quickly, that our traditional ways of reaching out aren't always enough. And I think that goes to a question of Senator Capito's as well, that at the Fish and Wildlife Service, if I'm confirmed, we will continue to be creative in how we reach out to people and how we stay engaged. So thank you.
Not an additional question, just a closing comment. Also look forward to working with you on access to nature and wildlife, particularly for some of the more densely populated communities in California, particularly Southern California. We know that national wildlife refuges offer tremendous opportunities. There's some existing that could use a little bit more support and enhancement. So look forward to working with you on a number of fronts. Thank you.